Welcome to another episode of Sports Lounge with JLE Marte, where we discuss sports like family. That's the theme song, Man Talk, from my first album, The JLE Experience. I'm your host, JLE. My co-host is still out on break, taking care of family stuff. But we close to the end of the season. Need to wrap the season up. Hope everybody having a lovely Friday. Ain't working too hard. I know it's been a little break for a minute. For real. But gotta get this content out here to you. Right now, you got the women's Finals Four going on. South Carolina defeated NC State 79-58, I believe. And they undefeated, so we about to see what the leading scorer of all time in college basketball, men and women, Caitlin do against UConn. They have some of the records. Should be a great game. And if they get to the championship game, that's going to be something worth watching, which that do become the issue because it seems like people tune into college women's basketball more than the WNBA. Hopefully she can take them eyeballs to the WNBA and people tune in. Because she do talk trash and all that great stuff. Now, we did have, 12 million people watch the rematch of LSU versus Iowa this past week. And a lot of stuff was said about Angel Reese crying at the podium for losing, talking about what she'd been through after the championship. And in my opinion, and I watched a lot of people's shows talk about it, who made them a villain? I mean, granted, they bought into the villain role. You had LA Time people write about them being dirty debutantes. With if you Google it, unfortunately, porn stuff came up, which is very disrespectful. So, like, you're trying to paint a good versus evil because this Iowa team is mostly Caucasian women. LSU is a diversity group, mostly black. So they both have tremendous respect for each other, first off. But it seems like a lot of entities want to paint this good versus evil nonsense, which is unnecessary. Now, I do understand the aspect. If you want to be the villain, you want to buy into it in that role, and you lose, you got to just take it. But I get it's athletes, and a lot of people in the media want them to show more about what's going on with them. So it's like you can't have it both ways, and you want to be emotional, how they really feel about the sport, about the game, and then, well, you know what? You're doing too much right now because right now you're the villain in the villain role. You need to eat your crow and be quiet. I mean, it was a hell of a game. They both had phenomenal numbers. They gave it all they had. 12 million people watched. This is good for women's basketball. I believe Reese is cleared for the draft as well. So I assume after everything play out, because I believe she's Caitlin as a senior, she should be going pro. Hopefully, the eyeballs follow them to the WNBA, and you continue to see more great basketball on the women's level. Hope that happens. Now for the men's Final Four this weekend, we're going to have Purdue, number 1 ranked, versus number ranked 11 NC State. Due to the portals and kids just playing everywhere, a double-digit seed is always getting to the Final Four now. That's normal. Whether it's 11, 12, 13, 14, you're not shocked by it no more. You'll be shocked that they don't get that far. Like, okay. Then you have the defending champ UConn, number 1 ranked, versus Alabama. I expect that to be. I mean, it's the first time since Florida won back-to-back 07, 08, where UConn got a good chance to get back to the title game. I mean, I can't remember if you've seen back-to-back championships in women's because all we got one undefeated, which is awesome. On average, I mean, people that's betting might bet on South Carolina because normally undefeated team finish it out with the title. I ain't seen too many undefeateds lose, but Caitlin is balling out of control, so we'll see what they can do with her. And that's the biggest games going on right now. So you ain't got no NBA on right now, but I've been watching stories over the week, and they would talk about Milwaukee records since they've gotten Doc Rivers as their coach, and they're pretty much 500 with him. I don't know what it is about that dude, but I don't know if it's making adjustments or what. He just don't do it. The guy they had a second-rate offense. Defense was a little bad. I guess they figured he was the problem, so they brought in Doc Rivers to take over. And defense is what? Middle of the pack. Offense, still in the top 5. I mean, my years watching NBA basketball is about effort. You want to shut somebody down, your best players go shut them down. So the question is going to have to get on is Giannis and the other big men they got playing defense because there's been a lot of talk about Jrue Holiday. He's over there with Boston, and they playing like a juggernaut that might break through and win the title with his defense because he was guarding multiple positions when he played with Milwaukee. But then that brings the question, if you knew he added that value to your team, why in the hell did you get rid of him for Dame Lillard? Dame Lillard is nice, but he scores. He ain't been known for defense. And if Jrue Holiday was plugging a lot of defensive holes, why do you think it was cool not to pay him what he wanted and let him go to Boston? Boston is missing a little bit. Jason Tatum, hell of a talent. He ain't got that dog in him yet. He ain't mad enough yet. Jaylen Brown got a little bit in him. They just missing that piece. And maybe Jrue Holiday might be that piece to get that fire lit on them. And they might run off 2 in a row because they got the talent. So now it's going to be a big thing that, well, was the Dame Lillard trade worth it? Was it any good? Like, we had the LeBron era where we had all the big threes, the big powerhouse teams. We're getting back to basketball, in my opinion. Can your GM build a team? Do your coach have a system that will win you a title? And what type of talent you need to plug it in? It seems like we're coming full circle back to the 80s, 90s where your system and the players you draft are going to have to win it for you. And you shouldn't be so enamored with, I need a freshman or a sophomore. I would draft junior, seniors. They've been there. They got the fundamentals. They've been coached. They can come in and give production. Teams that won titles back in the day, when you looked at it, they drafted junior, seniors. They could start. They can come off as a 6-man. They know basketball. All these diaper dandies that are nice, as Dickie Vitale would say, still got to learn because they just left high school. Did 6 months in college, played March Madness, now they in the pros. Now they got all the money, the women, the fame. They got to figure all that out and basketball. Because a lot of them wasn't that great like Kobe and Kevin Garnett come straight out of high school and make an impact. So you got to wait for them to still develop. Not a great deal, in my opinion. That's why I ain't watched a lot of NBA basketball because a lot of these players are still developing on the job. So you see a lot of sloppy basketball. I mean, there's been a lot of footage out of Kobe talking about unintentional shots being made where basketball is thought through. And a lot of teams that won titles, when you listen to their stories, they tell you they're thinking it through the next 3 to 4 plays. because they studied the opponent, so they know you like to swing the ball to the left for a three or the right, or always do a pick and roll and throw live for the big man. So we need to make sure I'm in a place to stop it. A lot of these players ain't on the thinking part of the game yet. They just have to be out there getting the shine and letting people know they do what they do. So while they running and gunning, you thinking it through to the fourth quarter to where, okay, they're exhausted, rules in their bench, and most teams come down to their core who they trust, try to win the game. And you already got a game plan what to do against them. So now it's like, okay, well, how'd they beat them so decisively? They had the advantage because you're thinking it through. And you still have to, basketball in any sport, from what a lot of greats say, you still got to think it through. And if you ain't thinking it through, you just playing. You ain't playing with attention, as Kobe and I heard a few others recently have said the same thing on what you're doing. Even LeBron has a podcast now with JJ Redick where they actually give you definitions of plays and stuff where if you want to learn something about basketball, you probably check their show out. I mean, you don't see that no more in sports media. Everybody trying to be entertainment instead of a person that don't know nothing about the sport can catch a few minutes and learn. Okay, so that's why that team lost the lead the second half. Stuart Scott, I mean, he gave you the razzle dazzle or how he talked about it. I repeated him, but he broke down the game where he gave you the best. And like, we are too much on the, oh my God, it's the shoes, the diaper dang, compared to, okay, the fundamentals. Let's talk about it. Why the team was up by 10 at halftime and lost by 15? That's why they bring in the basketball Hall of Famers or analogists, or they did something that give them credibility to talk about it. But you don't see that now. Everybody trying to be entertainer and say the most craziest thing to go viral. And you don't need to do all the time. So that should be entertaining to see what happens. LeBron's son, Bronny, is in a transfer portal from USC, and he's looking clear for the draft. Now, he can still go back to college, but testing to see where he at. He had the unfortunate heart situation. Pray he's all good, everything right with him. So it might just be a filler to see his stats wasn't the greatest because he getting up playing time. They wanted to make sure he was okay. So they paced him with him playing. So that could be understandable why he averaged like 4.8 points, maybe like 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Yeah, to make the greatest numbers to come out to go pro. But it's cool to gauge the interest to see what he can work on because even with NBA, he had to go through their testing to make sure his heart good because they don't want the boy to have no unforeseen problem, which no one wants that. Want to live out his purpose as healthy as he can be. And who knows? He might still play with his dad in the league. Still possible. Because amazingly, his dad is still averaging 25 like it's easy. I mean, that's truly awesome. He's a hell of a talent. We do need to take notice of that because you might not see nobody else doing what he's doing or care to put that effort to doing it. That's a lot of caring. A lot of caring. A lot of people are not really. I mean, you watch sports, whoever watching this show, and you can tell the effort level. Even if you watch NFL game, you can tell, okay, who really want to be a champion and who happy to collect a check. Because you will see in the first quarter is 21 zip. It should never be 21 zip in the first half, let alone the first quarter of NFL game. I mean, I don't know if you went to the strip club, you had too many Coronas or whatever you're doing. You ain't prepared. And this team just ran a score up on you. Now, you person like me playing Madden back in the day, you talking cash trash. We had a rule if you get 21 zip at halftime, that's game. So you really trying to keep them out of there so you can talk all the trash. And I was one of them, whether I win or lost, I'm talking trash. And if I beat you 21 zip, I ain't had to play the whole game because you were scrub. So you can imagine you watch real life games like, wait a minute. Y'all ain't even warmed up. You down 21. You got 3 quarters left. Effort. And that's something that a lot of sports are lacking, the effort. But you see it in the March Madness, though. Shout out to the men, the women. They playing their butts off. You seeing some good games. Buzzer beaters, all that. It's sad for the NBA. You got to wait till the playoffs to see that now. That's what they're really going to play. The WAC All-Star game was almost 200 points each. No effort. I don't know if that ever changed. Maybe just cut the All-Star break. Y'all just off for that weekend and y'all go back next week. If you ain't going to put effort in, what's the point? People pay money for that. And them seats ain't cheap. If I had the bread and I want to go to All-Star weekend and I paid all that money courtside, you're going to hear me yelling at these people. Can you at least try to play defense? Give me some of my money's worth? You ain't got to hurt yourself, but I done paid $2,000 or so for this. What you doing to me? Like, what's really going on? You know? But world we're living in. But everything comes back around, so hopefully sports will get back competitive. Today was opening day for the Tigers, and oddly lately in Michigan it's been cold and snowy. Hopefully they do better this year. Had to check out a game. We got the NFL draft coming later this month, and I'm still working on things my end where we can be doing season 3 live from the draft. That's the goal. See how this work out. I think that's going to be pretty dope. Be live from the draft. Going to be downtown Detroit. That's an amazing thing for the city. I mean, check out Detroit. It's totally different. If you ever been in the suburbs, Novi, Farmington, Birmingham, downtown Detroit, same thing now. They got a little bit of everything for you. We've been having the skate rink. They ain't been that cold. But I know in summer they got the skate rink, skating, actual skating, the skateboards. They got the basketball courts, even gaming stuff. Like, wow. They got a little bit of everybody. So a lot going on in the city if we come check it out. And next week will be the season finale. And that should be in the NBA season. We'll see who's going to play for the play-in. Right now, Golden State is number 10. Lakers number 9. Sacramento is 8. And New Orleans is 7. So Zion got his weight together. He got the boys. See what they do. It's be good. So, I mean, I'm assuming, hopefully, Lakers and Warriors get in because good for ratings. But I like to see what Zion doing in the playoffs. I know he's been making money, not doing nothing, but I know he want to prove his worth now. See what he do. East Coast. I mean, Boston, the overall number 1 seed right now. So, Philly, Embiid trying to come back from injury. Then you got Milwaukee, subpar. I think Jalen Brunson just hurt himself, or Randall just had surgery. So, New York in the mix. Pistons, we got some more work. Got a little more time. Give it a minute. We'll get back there. My personal suggestion, bring all our veterans who won titles, be around this arena. Some coaching. Hey, this is how you do a turnaround jumper. This is how you rebound. That's what you see with the great teams. The Boston Celtics, the Lakers. The people be around the organization. We need that same thing in Detroit. Because you Detroit, we about working hard, punch the clock, grind. You don't see that every game. I mean, we've seen that. Shout out to the Lions. Look for them to do more next season. But you saw that where they didn't quit. Every game they gave you what they had. Pistons need to take a page from that. Because some games, there's no way we should have had a 28 losing streak this season. That shouldn't happen. Basketball ain't that hard. But closing out a game and thinking it through is. And that's where the problem comes in. You got to think it through at the end. But that's all I really got for this week. Come see the finale next week. Should have a guest. Talk about some more great stuff that's been going on this weekend. Who'll be the new champion college? All that good stuff. WrestleMania this weekend. Talk about that as well. See who won, how that played out. And we about to get back to grinding. Season 3 will be April 26th, 9:30, same time. But hopefully that weekend is live from the draft. That's the goal. So I hope everybody have a safe weekend. Enjoy yourself. Drink responsibly if you out in these streets. Hydrate. And enjoy sports. There's a lot going on this weekend. Until next time.